Shalom. First off, I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Racha HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, GMS, who do real well. Peace and salutations unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect, and to all the Akim tuning in. To you, I say Shalom. This is the brother Halal from the Great Millstone, Chicago camp, coming at you with another lesson of truth. And I took this photo a couple days ago. I wanted to do a lesson on it right on the spot, but there were other important topics to speak on. But when I got on this TikTok app, this is basically what it showed me. It said Salaki, it said updates to our terms of security and privacy policy. It says we are updating our terms and service and privacy policy effective on January 22nd, 2026 to reflect changes including updated corporate entity, new types of location information including geolocation we may collect from you with your permission. So basically, Esau Edom is moving, Esau and Amalek, they're moving forward, in the steps of limiting, the content that people come across, especially content that is, shameful and exposes the tabernacles of Esau Edom, and especially the head tribe of Esau Edom, which is Amalek, which is those J-ish people, that are in the Holy Land masquerading as the true Israelites when they're not. Esau Edom is moving to take away all of, this social media, all this information that can circulate that he has no control over, especially information that goes into exposing his history and what he's done. Esau is eventually going to take the internet away. And 2026 might very well be the year when, YouTube might get shut down. Esau may cut off certain social media outlets for a while, and claim that the app, that it was a blackout, so to speak. Esau Edom is about to take away many freedoms and liberties, the First Amendment, the freedom of speech that you Americans have, man. So I wanted to play this video, because apparently Amalek purchased TikTok. This is a video that of Benjamin Milkowski, as the elder Malcolm calls him, which that's actually his real name. He's really from Poland, if you go into his history. But there is a video that came out, earlier this month, in the beginning of January, before this came into effect on TikTok. So I'm gonna let it play.
And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends, or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to...
So, you heard Benjamin, Milkowski explain that the most important purchase was what? TikTok and X, which was formerly known as Twitter. And as we can see, Amalek is definitely, has his hold on TikTok now. Seeing that now they want all types of information on you, surveillancing you, knowing what you're doing. Amalek is taking control of that. And he said that Twitter is next. So Esau Edom is about to make a move on these social media outlets, man. Where people are exposing this history, going into all the things that Esau Edom has done and giving up valuable information and history that Esau does not want to be released to the public and to the mainstream. But starting it off is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 4. And it says, "Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell." So Esau Edom is insatiable. He can never be satisfied. And it doesn't matter how much money and material wealth and strongholds throughout the earth he may have. He always wants what the next man has in their possession. It says, and it is his, and so like it, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And Esau Edom is known for that, man. Gathering up many people, heaping up unto himself all people. Setting up military bases all throughout the earth. Always in somebody else's business, wondering what's going on with another nation. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is the prime example. Here it is. He just kidnapped Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, in that operation. And now he wants to take control of Greenland. And at the World Economic Forum, he unveiled his plans to build Gaza up into a luxury metropolis, over all those dead corpses. But here it is, all of these things that are going on in your own country that you're not even solving, man. All you did was send ICE, out to these communities, to crack down on quote unquote illegal immigration. And now they're shooting and killing Americans and detaining, American children from schools, man. ICE is performing raids on elementary schools, detaining, 5-year-old kids, man. So what? Esau Edom enlarges his desire. He can never be satisfied. He's insatiable, and he's always in someone else's business, man. Let's read verse 5 in the NLT. It says, "Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest. They open their mouths as wide as the grave, and like death, they are never satisfied. In their greed, they have gathered up many nations and swallowed up many peoples." And Esau Edom always wants full control. He wants full control over the information. He wants full control over the money, where it's distributed. Just look at these international banking families like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, man. And the different systems that they've infiltrated over the years. And us prophets, man, we are the main threat, to the internet. Although Amalek and Esau may not want to admit that, the true threat to the internet are the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that are speaking this truth. This is Amos 5 and 10. It says, "They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly." And this is the world we live in. We live in a world that hates righteousness, that hates being rebuked and reproved for their ways. And Esau Edom, him being our main enemy and our main arch nemesis, man. He's the complete opposite of righteousness. So for a fact that he hates the truth. That the prophets speak. There's Jeremiah 28 and 8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." And that's exactly what we're doing on the internet, man. Week in and week out, you have hundreds of brothers from all camps, in all 50 states, in the major cities, Chicago, LA, New York, Atlanta, Philly, Houston, etc., prophesying the downfall of this kingdom and prophesying what? Against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence, man. And eventually Esau Edom, he's going to have no choice but to take these videos off the internet completely, man. He's going to completely reset everything. and try to establish this new digital system, which is going to infringe on your rights even more and require more surveillance of every payment that you make and where you're at all times, man. So I'm going to end it off with the book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11. Because we're not going to be out, on the internet and out on the street corners pushing out this truth, that much longer. This Amos chapter 8 and 11. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it." So, man, there's going to be a famine of Yahweh Bashim Shai in the land. And these people that got used to walking past us, scoffing at the many Yahweh Bashim Shai, ignoring us, riding past, when we're no longer there, these people are going to understand the value of the wisdom and the words of the prophets, man. That's why it says in Isaiah 33 and 6 that wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times. And since these people never inquired of the wisdom and the knowledge while they had the chance, when it's no longer available to them, they're going to thirst for it, man. Which leads me to the scripture right here in verse 13. It says, "In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst." And that thirst is what? The word of Yahweh by Shema Shai. This word, this truth, and this doctrine. So in 2026, as Esau Edom is making more moves, from a geopolitical standpoint, from an economical standpoint, expect these social media sites to be more strict, man. As Esau Edom and mainly Amalek moves to take control over all of these social media apps so that people cannot speak and expose Esau Edom and expose the wickedness that he's been doing, man. And searching out the things that they have hidden in secret places. But I hope this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone GMS who grew well. Until the next lesson, Shalom.